We all do it, right? Almost every day. That little tap. Phone or card, paying for coffee, getting into the office, maybe sharing a contact. It feels, well, seamless. Almost like magic. But what's actually going on there, behind that super simple tap?
Yeah, it does feel like magic sometimes, doesn't it? But it's technology, really clever technology. Today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, NFC, near field communication. Specifically, we want to sort of pull back the curtain on how the NFC tags and the card readers actually work together.
Right. And our mission today isn't just, listing specs. We want to unpack the science, the applications you see every day. Make it make sense, take away the complexity, so you walk away really understanding it. You'll get that invisible dance happening between your phone and the tag, understand why it's secure, and just how much it powers our modern lives, often silently.
And we've looked at quite a few detailed sources, explanations covering NFC applications, tags, readers, trying to get you the clearest possible picture, all the key bits.
Okay, great. So let's kick things off with the absolute core idea, that near field part of NFC. That's not just branding, is it? It sounds pretty important.
Oh, absolutely fundamental. It's right there, like you said, in the name. NFC operates over really, really short distances. We're talking just a few centimeters typically, maybe to 4 inches, 10 centimeters max.
Oh, that's really close.
It is. And that's not a bug, it's a feature, it's deliberate. That limited range is actually a key part of its security. It makes it incredibly hard for someone, an unauthorized device to just listen in from across the room. Completely different from Wi-Fi or Bluetooth in that respect. You basically have to be right there.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's like a physical necessity. Bringing them close implies intent. So, okay, how does that communication actually happen in that tiny space? What's the mechanism?
Well, the underlying principle is something called electromagnetic induction. You can think of it like a reader device, your phone maybe, or that payment terminal in a shop. It emits a small electromagnetic field.
An invisible field, okay.
Exactly, and that field is the trigger. It gets the whole thing started without any wires, any physical contact.
And this is where it gets really clever, I think.
Yeah.
Most of those NFC tags, the things in cards or stickers, they're passive, right? They don't have batteries.
Yeah.
So how do they get power to talk back?
That is the genius of it, using that electromagnetic induction. These passive tags literally draw the power they need directly from the reader's field when it comes close enough.
Wow.
Yeah. This kind of, free energy lets them be super small, super thin, really cheap to make, perfect for putting into stickers, cards, key fobs, you name it. No need for a battery.
That's amazing. So the field powers them up. Then how do they actually send their information, their data, back to the reader?
Good question. So for the tech folks listening, it operates at a standard frequency, 13.56 megahertz, globally standard. Once the tag gets energized by that field, its little microchip wakes up and transmits its stored data. It does this by subtly changing or modulating that same electromagnetic field the reader created. And the reader detects those tiny changes, those modulations, and interprets them as binary data. The ones and es. It's basically a very quick, silent conversation happening on that invisible wave.
It really is elegant, especially when you think about the engineering packed into something so small you carry it around without a second thought. So this whole system, the short range, the borrowed power, the communication, how does that directly connect to the convenience and the security we actually feel when we use it?
Yeah, well, it means those connections are almost instant, no pairing needed, like with Bluetooth, you just tap. And as we said, that short range is inherently secure. Someone can't easily intercept your payment info from meters away. They'd have to be, physically touching your phone or card almost. So it really boils down to convenience and security built right into the physics of it.
Got it. Okay, so we understand the sort of short-range magic now. Let's peek inside. What are the actual components? What's in an NFC tag or card?
Sure. On the tag side, it's usually 3 main things. First, there's the NFC chip itself. That's the brain, holds the data, does the processing. Second, you have the antenna, usually a thin coil of copper wire. It's what grabs the power from the reader's field and also what transmits the data back. And third, just the substrate. The material holding it all together could be plastic, paper, whatever the tag is made of. Very compact.
Simple, but effective. And then on the other side, the reader, like my phone or the shop's payment terminal, what's inside that?
It mirrors it to some extent. It also has an NFC chip or a controller managing the communication rules, the protocols. And critically, it has its own antenna, too. That's the one emitting the electromagnetic field to power up the tag in the first place. But maybe the most crucial part on the reader side, often overlooked, is the software, the application.
Ah, the app.
Yes. That's what actually starts the read command, interprets the data it gets back from the tag, and then decides what action to take. It's the bridge between the hardware interaction and a useful outcome. It really is a neat little ecosystem, all these parts working together so smoothly.
Okay, let's walk through that tap then, step by step. What happens first? Initiation.
Right. So the NFC reader application, maybe on your phone, gets activated. Sometimes it's automatic. The phone senses a tag nearby. Other times you might manually open a specific app first.
Okay, app's ready. I bring my phone close to, say, an NFC sticker on a poster. What's next? Powering up.
Exactly. Your phone, the reader, its antenna, generates that alternating magnetic field. As it gets close to the path of tag, that field induces an electric current in the tag's antenna. And zap! Just like that. In milliseconds, the tag powers itself up.
And once it's powered, it can talk back. It transmits its data. And here's where it gets really interesting, right? That quick tap isn't just one thing happening.
No, not at all.
It's like a whole symphony of invisible data exchange happening in a fraction of a second.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. The powered tag sends its data by, as we said, modulating the reader's field. The reader detects these changes, decodes them back into raw data. Often this data is formatted in a standard way called NDEF, NFC data exchange format.
NDEF.
Okay. Yeah, and NDEF is super flexible. It can handle different kinds of data. A web address, just plain text, your contact details, maybe Wi-Fi login info, all sorts.
So the reader gets this NDEF data. What then? How does it become, useful?
The application layer takes over. The software interprets that NDEF data and does whatever it's programmed to do with that specific type of information. So if it's a URL, your phone's browser probably opens to that web page. If it's contact info, it might ask if you want to save it to your contacts. Smart home command, it executes, it turns on the light, adjusts the thermostat. For payment cards, it reads the encrypted payment details. For access cards, it reads an ID number to check if you're allowed in. All happens almost instantly.
That is amazing. So much happening behind that simple tap. Now, besides just reading data, what else can these NFC interactions do? Are there sort of more advanced things?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the cool functions are reading the data, obviously, then displaying it somehow or interacting with it. And that interaction part is key opening websites, launching apps, making calls, sending texts, even starting a Bluetooth pairing sometimes. And many reader apps will also keep a history for you, of the tags you've scanned.
Okay, but can it go further, like writing to tags?
Yes, though it's maybe less common for the average user, but very powerful. Some advanced apps and NFC tools allow you to write new data to special writable NFC tags, or even erase the data that's on them. And you can sometimes copy data from one tag to another.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it's not just a one-way street of reading. The ability to write and manage data opens up tons of possibilities for personal use, automation, businesses. It shows NFC is way more versatile than just payments or door locks.
Stepping back a bit then, it sounds like NFC is really acting as a kind of interpreter, doesn't it?
That's a perfect description.
Bridging the physical thing, the tag, with the digital world inside your device. All through that quick, secure, convenient tap.
Precisely. It's this silent facilitator that we often just take for granted. But once you start looking for it, you realize NFC is kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Okay.
Once you know what's happening, you probably see it all over the place.
Yeah.
Where are the most common spots we'd find NFC in the wild?
Well, the big one is contactless payments for sure. Apple Pay, Google Wallet, tapping your actual credit or debit card, that's huge. Access control is another major one. Getting into office buildings, tapping onto public transport, maybe entry for events.
Right, like transit cards.
Exactly. Then you've got things like smart posters or marketing. Tap a tag on an ad to get more info, a discount code, watch a video. Sometimes on product packaging, too. Tap to get detailed specs, manuals, registration links.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
It's also creeping into home automation. People are programming cheap NFC tags to trigger smart home routines. Tap a tag by your bed to set a goodnight scene, for instance.
That's clever. And what about just sharing things between phones?
Yep, data sharing too. Quickly swapping contact info, maybe photos or files between phones that support it just by tapping them together. Less common now maybe with other methods, but still a use case. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means this tiny, low-power tech is deeply woven into making your daily life smoother and more secure.
It really is. So just to recap quickly, we've seen how NFC uses that simple electromagnetic induction, clever chip design, that super short range, to bridge physical objects and our digital devices with just a tap. Convenient, secure.
And that maybe leads to a final thought. Given those core strengths of NFC, the really short range, the simplicity, the fact it needs almost no power on the tag side, What else could we do with it? What other creative, maybe even surprising applications might pop up, thinking beyond just payments or access? Where else could a really simple, secure, close-range tap change how we interact with things every day? Something to keep an eye out for, how this humble little technology keeps evolving around us.